Yes, my people, I don't come again to update our mindset. When I know say I don't let they come here, they update as they hot. So right now, Asari Dokubo, he don't do the worst as they talk now. As they talk to you now, it can't be like say if anything they go on concerning Tinubu, most especially for Abuja, if anything they come up, it can't be like say now Asari Dokubo, now that they send go for front line. Yes, now. Because why I they talk this thing is because right as they talk to you now, Asari Dokubo, they for Abuja with him boys, they protest against the strike when NLC they agitate on. So for them to go there, first and foremost, who be Asari Dokubo for Nigeria self? Me I don't really understand. What did they give on that F1 tray? Who be Asari Dokubo for Nigeria? As I talk to you now, in there for Abuja with him boys, with those soldiers when they train ahead. I felt like I say. So right now, Asari Dokubo and those soldiers, then there for Abuja, they protest against NLC strike. I don't want to talk too much. Right now, I'll bring up the video. For those of us who never see them, as they watch the video, like, comment, and share. So that people who never see them, then go see what they go on as they talk right now. Thank you.
On Tuesday, the Presidential Election Petition Court in Abuja reserved judgment in petitions filed by the People's Democratic Party and the Labour Party challenging President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's victory in the 2023 presidential election. Justice Haruna Tsunami, who led the 5-member panel of justices, said the date of judgment will be communicated to the parties. The presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, had arrived at the tribunal accompanied by the party's vice presidential candidate, Yusuf Dati Baba Ahmed, and award-winning novelist, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. During the proceedings, Peter Obi misplaced his 2 phones.
No, it's good that she's into how she came to.
Excuse me.
All right. Well, Peter Obi did not actually misplace his phone. Someone in his team took the phone, and it was a security DSS. It was nice, but that story was trending, and the fact that he misplaced his phone. But I was actually worried when I saw that story.
Too much
God, were you not worried? Are you?
Too much
Oh, did we not see? Well, I'm so glad.
But also what was cool was that we saw Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie supporting Peter Obi as always. She's always there for him, and it's nice that she was there. I mean, that's another big news that made the stories yesterday. Dr. Bati, really quickly before we move on.
Well, I mean, the last time Chimamanda Adichie intervened publicly, there were persons who were trying to query her intervention. And I said, look, yes, she's a global icon writer, one of the leading figures today in contemporary world literature. And she has a right as a citizen to make her own political choices. And that artists are not just persons of, the imaginative world. They are also citizens. They are members of communities. So she said, giving further illustration to her support for the Labour Party, and especially for Mr. Peter Obi, whom she has described in glowing terms in other places. But earlier on, I tried to, give, a definition of the procedure of the adoption of written addresses that occurred at the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal yesterday, and just made the point that this is the procedure under the rules from High Court up, courts of superior jurisdiction. They adopt written addresses even when those written addresses have been presented, as was the case on July 24, when the defendant in this case, namely APC, Tinubu, and INEC, had submitted their own addresses. So, but those adopted addresses do not constitute evidence. Their lordships will go and look at the evidence, and that's why they say they've deferred judgment, and they will communicate the date for the ruling. But that's not the end of the process.
Yes,
there's still a higher court, the Apex Court. So people should not jump to any conclusions. But it's good Mr. Peter Obi found his phones. We have all become so attached to our phones that if you miss your phone for 5 minutes, it will look like it is not even security breach. You know, some emotional thing. I wrote a piece once, many years ago now, you know, in which I would say, how did we live when there was no mobile phone?
We had postcards.
This is now, all of us are attached to the phones.
And Facebook and all of that.
But it's okay that you found his phone.
It's perfect. Well, all right, we saw, you know, the protest in Abuja just now, and also Joe Ajero was about to address the crowd there. But, you know, in the lead up to the nationwide mass protest by the Nigerian Labour Congress, which commenced today, workers and pensioners in Oyo State on Tuesday blocked the entrance of the State Secretariat in Ibadan, demanding palliatives, an upward review of pension allowances, and payment of salary deductions, among others. The workers had on Monday staged a similar protest, promising to continue to protest on Tuesday until the state governor, Seyi Makinde, addressed them. Well, former militant leader Asari Dokubo also stormed Abuja in protest today. Let's take a quick look at that video. Rufa is cracking up. What can we say? Turn by turn. Rufai, I mean, everyone has a right to protest. This is what needs to happen.
Why the hypocrisy of the police force scares me. Asari can do this. But when Labour said they want to go on protest, you start to tell them that you fear that people will infiltrate. Why didn't they infiltrate Asari's protest? Why is only Labour's own that the police used to shout that people might want to infiltrate? He has a right of protest. And he's chanted his songs. Turn by turn, no. Nobody should stop him. Just like nobody should stop anybody that wants to protest against the government. Simple.
Perfect. It must be peaceful, though.
And it must
All
be
the
peaceful.
protests must be peaceful. And the security forces have to ensure that it's peaceful. Well, let's take our final story by sharing the journey of 4 Nigerian men on a mission to Europe in a bid to escape